Hi, thank you for tuning into this video. This is going to be a practice related to kidney stone cramps. Someone just very recently in my immediate environment was unfortunately going through extreme kidney-related pain and cramps, and he was also hospitalized from the pain. And once he was out and was still heavily on medication, we started to do this simple sequence and simple practice with him that, based on his feedback, was really helpful to release that tension that was building up in his lower back and the abdominal area. So what happens when you're going through these cramps, the body is becoming extremely tight because the nervous system sends a signal to the body that there is shock, that there is problem. So everything is going to tighten up. And also the whole body starts cramping up, like coming into this tiny little ball. And because once the pain is gone, the tension is still going to be there in those muscles. So after the pain is not there anymore, it's really useful to do some counter poses that are going to counteract those tightness, those rigidness in the body, so you can feel a lot more comfortable, hopefully, in your body. So the theme of the practice is going to be a lot about lengthening the front line, especially activating and energizing the internal organs around your kidney, all the abdominal area, also to stimulate the blood flow and the energy flow around your kidneys. So maybe it can help you to just easier flush out the stones or just get rid of that very tight sensation that you're experiencing. And if you don't have any previous yoga experience, still most of these poses should be achievable for you. You just do it to the best of your ability. Just come lie down on the back. And pull your right knee into your chest. Left leg is on the ground. Keep some space on between your belly and your right thigh. And we're going to do it together with the breath. As on the inhale, we're leaving some space here. And on the exhale, just slowly start pushing this right thigh into your belly and applying some pressure to the internal organs. Inhale, just do it a couple of times, 3 to 5 times, whatever feels just right in your body. You're gonna do it with both legs, making sure that you're always coordinating the movement with the breath. That's very important. Switching legs to the other side. Again, on the inhale, let the thigh come a little bit away from the belly, and on the exhale, pull it into the chest. Inhale a few times. Try to keep your straight leg stable on the ground, so we don't want this leg to be lifted away from the mat. And while we're doing these simple movements, it's gonna give you also some release in the lower back, because your lower back muscles are start pulling a little bit. And then you're gonna do it with both legs. Just wrap your arms, your hands around your knees, and again, inhale. And on the exhale, slowly pulling both thighs into your belly, keeping the lower back flat on the ground. A few times. And your body will tell you how many counts it just feels right. And once you have done this, changing position, you're going to lie on the back, on the belly. Creating 90 degrees shape in your arms, coming to a Sphinx position. And just very slowly start pulling the chest forward, shoulders back. And this is a simple movement that's introducing a back bend shape into the body, and your belly slightly lifts off the ground. Probably you're already going to feel it around the abdominal area, how this pose is creating a stretch, applying some stretch in the front line. Just stay here for a couple of breaths. And you can also observe yourself, observe the chest, the torso. How does it feel in this simple pose? And slowly come lower back down, palms under your forehead. Bringing your hands under your shoulders into a cobra pose. On the inhale, start bringing the chest slightly higher. And then on the exhale, lower back down. You can also repeat it 2-3 times, just with one breath. Inhale, you're lifting up wherever you can. And on the exhale, lower back down. Again, try to do these movements coordinating with the breath. On the inhale, you're extending, and on the exhale, you're lowering back down. And on the last round, when you come up into your cobra, now try to hold it as in a position, in a height where you can stay there for about 3 to 5 breaths. It doesn't have to be your deepest cobra. Just stay wherever you can breathe, hold it. And once you are reaching your limit there and you have finished a couple of rounds of breath, slowly lower back down. Bending the knees and see if you can grab the ankles on the outside. Now, this pose might not be achievable for everyone, and that's okay. If you can't achieve this pose, just skip this one. If you can grab your ankles, see if you can a little bit lift your chest off the mat, using your ankles to pull the arms backwards. You're going to be applying, again, even more pressure on the abdominal area and even more stimulating those organs around the kidney. Again, don't worry about being in the deepest. It's much more about doing the pose, whatever shape we can create. And then on the exhale, release. Pushing back to your child's pose. Come up on your knees. Start walking the arms forward, keeping a 90-degree shape with your knees exactly under the hips, and with your arms walking forward, lower down the chest. And again, make sure in this puppy stretch you're breathing on the nose, in and out consistently. Try not to withhold the breathing, otherwise the pose might not gonna work to its fullest. And then you can start coming out of the pose. Slowly roll yourself back to seated position. Now we're going to do a camel, which is going to be the deepest of the back bend shapes. You can also roll up the mat, just pat it under your knee, just to give some support of your knee joints, your kneecap. Placing the palms at your lower back, and try to keep your fingers facing to towards the ceiling. This is, like I said, this is going to be the deepest of the previous shapes. Inhale, and on the exhale, pushing the hips forward, and from your upper back, start rolling backwards with your shoulders and opening up the chest. You're going to feel probably already quite a lot around this kidney area, the abdominal area. Just hold it there for a few breaths. And then you can come out of the pose. Just do a child's pose, releasing any tension from this lower back area. And feel free to repeat this camel 1 or 2 more times, however the body feels the most comfortable. It's actually really beneficial to do it 3 times in the practice, and each time you're going to go a little bit deeper maybe, and you're just going to hold it a little bit longer. So try not to hold it at one time for too long, so it creates too much tension in your back. It's more about going into the pose and coming out of it, rest a little bit, and then again come back to the pose, maybe hold it a little bit longer, come out of it, and then do it one last time. It's gonna be much more beneficial that way. Once you have done your camel, releasing the mat, bring your legs forward. And now you're gonna open up the legs to a wide seated position. Pulling up one heel to your hip. Keep your second hand in front of your straight knee, and on the inhale with your left arm up, exhale, start leaning to the side. So now you're going to stretch the side body here. Doesn't matter how deep we can go in this pose, and it really doesn't matter if we cannot touch the toes. It's all about just getting some extra length, extra stretch around this lower back area, so the body is able to hold itself up. The spine is going to be able to get a little bit more support from these stretches. And then once you finished it, do it on the second side. Hand can rest in front of the knee. Your other hand is reaching up, and then you're bending to the side. If your hand inside is a little bit too hard, just bring it on the outside. That's also fine. Whatever the body is capable of doing right now. And then come back from the pose, releasing both legs forward. Pulling up one knee. See if you can place the ankle on the outside of this knee, so this leg comes across your lower leg. Your lifted leg comes across your lower leg. Left hand behind you, inhale. And on the exhale, you hug the arm around your left knee, coming to a twist. And this is a really good pose. This intense twist is a really good pose to apply even more pressure on the abdominal area, on the internal organs, as we're squeezing them very tightly together right now. And at the same time, it helps with the spine as well to release tension. Release it, switching sides. Inhale first, the arm up, and on the exhale, come to your second side twist. Squeeze this knee into your chest. What you need to pay attention in this pose, in this twist, try not to lean backwards too much, and walk this hand as close to the hip as possibly you can come to, so your lower back is becoming 90 degrees towards the ground. So your spine is more straight as you're twisting around the X instead of in a tilted shape. And then release. You can do one more forward fold just to even out the spine. Inhale, and on the exhale, grabbing your feet, coming to a stretching of your backside. Hold it for a couple of breaths. And again, inhale, rising up. And exhale. Lie down on the mat one more time, pulling the knees up into the chest. And we're going to do the last twist, which is targeting more the lower back, holding your left knee, right leg straight. And this time, with your right hand, you bring this left knee across the body to your right side, and with your head, look over to your left arm. Back to center, hug both knees. As we're switching sides, right leg pulled up, left leg straight, and come to your second side twist. And again, release the pose. You can stay there lying down in your Shavasana rest when you're lying in corpse pose, or maybe just come back to seated position. So feel free to repeat any of these poses that you felt it was helpful. You can do each of them several times. You don't have to follow my pace, just do it whatever feels nice in the body. Also feel free to do the practice more than one time a day. You can also repeat it every day, and just you're going to be noticing how the body is changing with each time in the practice, how much more flexibility you have, how much more mobility. Thank you so much for tuning into this practice. Hope it was helpful and beneficial for you. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments section. And wishing you all the best of luck and best of health. Bye.